Hello, my dear friends across America and around the world. I'm Dr. James Miller, and today we're stepping into a subject that most men over 50 have quietly wondered about, but rarely dared to ask out loud. Let me say this up front. We are going to talk about female fluids, the kind that appear during intimacy, the kind that can spark curiosity, embarrassment, or even fear. Some of you may already be leaning back in your chair thinking, do I really want to hear this? And my answer is yes. Because avoiding this conversation is exactly what creates shame. And what we hide in shame becomes distance. Distance between partners, distance that steals intimacy. So let me ask you, where are you watching this from today? Maybe you're in your backyard in Texas sipping coffee as the sun sets, or in a quiet apartment in London alone, but longing for deeper connection. Or perhaps you're somewhere unexpected watching privately curious but cautious. Wherever you are, leave a comment below with your city or country. I want to see how far this conversation can travel. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. This space is built for men like you, mature, thoughtful, searching for real answers about love, health, and intimacy after 50. Now let's begin. Let's move past the silence, past the awkwardness, and talk honestly about what female fluids really mean, where they come from, and why understanding them could transform not only your intimacy, but your trust as a partner. All right, let's start with the basics. What exactly are female fluids and where do they come from? When a woman becomes aroused, her body responds with a natural surge of blood flow to the vaginal area. That circulation activates several glands. The Bartholin's glands release lubrication at the entrance. The Skene's glands, often called the female prostate, add their contribution, and the vaginal walls themselves produce fluid. Together, they create her body's natural lubrication. This is not urine. This is not waste. This is not a problem. This is biology. This is beauty. Her body is saying, I feel safe. I am ready. I can open. When you give oral intimacy, you are in direct contact with that living signal of her trust. Now, the question many men whisper but rarely say out loud, can you safely swallow this? The short answer is yes, if both partners are healthy, monogamous, and free from sexually transmitted infections. But stopping at the short answer would be too simple. Let's go deeper. Female fluids are not one single substance. They're a mix, mostly water, electrolytes like sodium and potassium, proteins and enzymes from her tissue, small amounts of sugar, glucose, friendly bacteria like lactobacillus to protect her balance, sometimes traces of urea or ammonia, but never at toxic levels, and even cervical mucus, especially during ovulation. If that sounds medical, here's what it really means. Her fluid is a living expression of her health, her cycle, and her readiness. It is not something to fear. It is something to respect, to understand, and to receive with maturity. Some of you might be nodding. Others might feel uneasy. That's natural. So let me ask you to join in. If you're still here, type the word yes in the comments. It shows you're open, willing, and curious. Now let's move forward, because what makes men hesitate is rarely the science. It's the feelings, the taste, the worry, the fear of doing it wrong, and that's where we go next. Many men over 50 carry the same unspoken questions. What if it tastes bad? What if I gag? What if the moment is ruined? What if I feel less manly? These thoughts don't make you weak, they make you human. But here is the truth. Real intimacy isn't always clean and polished. Sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's raw, sometimes it challenges the picture of what you thought was normal. And that is not a problem. That is a gift. When you stay present, even inside discomfort, you show love. When you breathe through the unfamiliar, you show courage. When you look at her face and see her trust instead of pulling away, you turn a moment of doubt into a moment of sacred connection. That is when she feels seen. That is when she feels safe. And that is when your masculinity deepens, not shrinks. Let's talk about taste, because if you're going to swallow, you deserve to understand why it changes. Her hydration matters. The more water she drinks, the fresher the taste. Her diet matters. Pineapple, garlic, coffee, onions, red meat. They all leave their trace. Stress matters too. Cortisol changes body chemistry in subtle ways. Her hormones shift across her cycle. Ovulation often brings a sweeter taste. Menstruation can bring a metallic note. Some women taste earthy, others tangy. None of this is wrong. None of this is bad. Every variation is her body speaking honestly. And when you accept that variety without judgment, you send a powerful message. I am here. I accept you. I am not afraid of your truth. That is the moment she relaxes. That is the moment she trusts you completely. And that is the moment she may let go in ways you've never witnessed before. If you agree that presence matters more than perfection, drop the number 1 in the comments. Now, while taste and comfort are important, there's another piece that must be discussed: health and safety, and that's where we go next. Even though female fluids are generally safe, health and safety always deserve our attention. If either partner is sexually active with others or hasn't been tested in a while, fluids can carry infections. Herpes, HPV, chlamydia, syphilis, even in rare cases, HIV. Now, before you panic, remember, many of these are treatable. Some never even show symptoms. But the key is this: do not assume, ask, test, talk. If you've been with your partner for years and you're both healthy, this may not be a concern. But if you are re-entering intimacy after divorce, illness, or loss, testing is essential. I know what some of you are thinking. Dr. Miller, that's too awkward. I don't want to bring it up. Let me be clear. Awkwardness never killed anyone. Silence has. You can say something simple. I care about you. Before we go further, would you feel comfortable getting tested together? Or I want us both to feel safe. Let's do this right. She may be surprised at first, but she will respect your integrity. Because when you take the lead in health, you show not only desire, you show protection. And that is deeply attractive in a mature man. Remember, swallowing isn't just physical, it's emotional. When a woman sees you accept her arousal without flinching, when she sees you embrace her fluids without judgment, she feels a level of trust that transforms intimacy. She stops holding tension in her belly. She softens in her heart, and she experiences intimacy not as performance but as life itself. Most women aren't craving a man who knows every trick. They crave a man who stays present from the first touch to the quiet afterglow. So when you meet her release with calm acceptance, you're not just brave, you're healing. You're telling her there is nothing in you that you must hide from me. If you're still with me and this resonates, type the word safe in the comments. Now let's look at what happens inside you, how your own health and masculinity are shaped by this kind of intimacy. Here's what research shows when men embrace intimacy without shame. Your oxytocin rises. That's the bonding hormone. It creates calmness, trust, and emotional resilience. Your cortisol drops. That's the stress hormone. Lower cortisol means less anxiety, less inflammation, better sleep. Your testosterone stabilizes, not just for performance, but for vitality and confidence. Your blood vessels relax, improving circulation, which is essential for strong erections. And your nervous system shifts into parasympathetic mode. That's the state of rest and connection, the opposite of fight or flight. In other words, when you let go of fear and lean into presence, your body literally rewires itself for better health, for deeper pleasure, for more authentic love. And you know what else? You stop being just a man who has sex. You become a man who creates experiences, experiences that bond, experiences that heal, memories that last for years. Picture this, a quiet Sunday morning. You and your partner shared a deep connection the night before. No shame, no awkward jokes, no quick cleanup. Just the two of you lying close, sipping coffee, smiling. She looks at you differently now, not because of a trick you learned, but because you stayed, because you accepted her fully. That trust becomes the foundation for your next chapter. Gentlemen, intimacy after 50 isn't about performance. It's about presence, not about positions, about how deeply you remain connected. If this truth speaks to you, drop the number 2 in the comments. Now let's take it further, because some of you want to know not only the why, but the how. So let's talk about 5 practical steps you can take to build confidence and connection in this part of your intimacy. Step 1. Talk before you touch. A pre-intimacy conversation changes everything. Say, "I'd love to give you more pleasure. How do you feel about oral intimacy?" When you invite her voice and you replace assumption with partnership. Step 2. Create the right conditions. Female fluid feels most natural when the body is calm. Clean sheets, soft light, maybe a warm shower together. No rush. When your energy is slow and gentle, her body opens more fully. Step 3. Focus on her signals, not your performance. Forget about being perfect. Watch her breathing. Feel her hips move. Listen to her sounds. Notice her stillness. Let her body guide you. When you sense her release, don't pull away. Don't panic. Stay. Hold. Breathe. That's presence. Step 4. Respond with love, not judgment. If her fluid surprises you, choose your words carefully. Say, "That was beautiful. I love how your body responds. You're safe with me." What you say in the seconds after her release is just as powerful as what you did before it. Those words become emotional memory. Step 5. Reinforce with affection. Don't roll away or grab your phone. Instead, hold her. Offer water. Whisper gratitude. Ask, "How did that feel for you?" Share your own feelings. This creates emotional afterglow. And emotional afterglow is where intimacy lives. When you follow these steps, you're not just sharing a physical act. You're building trust, safety, and connection that lasts far beyond the bedroom. If you believe intimacy grows stronger with simple steps like these, write the word love in the comments. Now let's bring everything together. Let's close with the bigger truth about fluids, about presence, and about the kind of man you can become. If you've ever wondered, is it really safe to swallow during oral intimacy? Will she judge me if I do? Will I feel less masculine if I embrace this part of her? The truth is, it's not about necessity, it's about presence. Intimacy after 50 is not about how many tricks you know. It's not about performance or control. It's about how you show up when things get real. When fluids flow, when she trembles and lets go, when she trusts you with her most vulnerable self. That is where real confidence is born. Not in perfection, but in acceptance. Not in control, but in presence. Maybe you're still unsure. Maybe you're curious but cautious. Maybe the thought makes you nervous. That's okay. Growth is not about medals. It's about willingness. You're allowed to take time. You're allowed to feel awkward. What matters is your choice to remain present even when it feels new. Picture this. The room is quiet. Candlelight softens the space. She's relaxed her shoulders down, her guard gone. You kiss, you explore, you give, and then she releases. Warmth tastes surrender, and you stay. You don't recoil. You don't joke. You whisper, "You're safe with me." That moment isn't just sex, it's legacy, it's memory, it's trust she will carry for years. And it's the kind of man you're becoming, not just a performer, a partner. So here's what I ask of you. Leave a comment below. Tell me what spoke to you most today. Share this video with a friend, a brother, someone entering love again after loss, and subscribe to this channel, because here we'll keep talking about intimacy, vitality, trust, and love after 50, 60, even 70. Until next time, I'm Dr. James Miller. Stay present, stay kind, and remember, when you learn to receive her fully, you're not just deepening sex, you're deepening trust, and trust is what makes love last.